Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're taking something that usually feels like a huge, frustrating bureaucratic hurdle, and we're going to transform it into a stress-free digital experience. If you're a resident of Kansas, or maybe you were just born there and you need a copy of your birth certificate, well, you're in exactly the right place. We are going to map out exactly how you can navigate the state's online systems to get this crucial document in your hands as smoothly as humanly possible. Let's get right into it.
Okay, let's dive into this, because we've literally all been there, right? You're looking at a fast-approaching deadline. Maybe you have an international trip coming up and you need a passport ASAP, or perhaps you're suddenly realizing that preschool enrollment is literally tomorrow. It's that real-world panic of needing a vital document right this second, and you're tearing apart your filing cabinet only to find out it's just not there.
Listen, you are definitely not alone in that panic. Enrolling a kid in school or preschool, applying for a U.S. passport, obtaining a state driver's license, these are some of the most common life events that absolutely require a certified birth certificate. You just can't enroll your kid in a USD 305 preschool without it. You can't secure a U.S. passport, and you often can't even obtain or renew your driver's license without proving exactly who you are. This single piece of paper is basically the bedrock of your legal identity. That's exactly why having a certified copy readily available is so critically important.
So to get you sorted, here is our roadmap for today's explainer. First, why you need it. Second, gathering your documentation. Third, the 2 online application pathways. Fourth, calculating fees and payments. Fifth, delivery and processing times. And finally, some final tips and takeaways.
All right, Section 1, why you need it.
So unlike some states where vital records are practically public information, Kansas is what's called a closed records state. Under the Kansas Open Records Act, these documents are classified as highly confidential. This strict administrative oversight by the Kansas Department of Health and Environment, it's entirely by design. It's there to prevent identity theft and fraudulent exploitation. Because these records are locked down so tight, the state requires strict verification to release them. You can't just casually request anyone's birth certificate.
Moving on to Section 2, gathering your documentation. Let's talk about proving your identity.
Because of those super strict privacy laws we just talked about, you actually must be legally eligible to request a copy. Obviously, if you're 18 or older, you can request your own. A parent listed on the certificate can request one, as can a child, sibling, or grandparent. Legal guardians can also apply provided they submit the official court custody documentation. But here's a really unique detail about Kansas. Aunts, uncles, nieces, and nephews also count as immediate family who are eligible to make this request. Pretty handy, right?
And this brilliantly illustrates the documentation you're going to need to actually prove your identity. The state makes it easiest if you have a primary ID. That means a single, current, government-issued photo ID, like a driver's license, a U.S. passport, or a military ID. That is your fast track. But hey, if you lack a photo ID, you aren't out of luck. You can use the alternative route, which just requires combining 2 secondary documents. This could be, say, a signed Social Security card paired with a current utility bill, or maybe a car registration paired with a recent pay stub that shows your name and Social Security number. You just have to have these ready to digitize before you even start the online process.
Which brings us to Section 3, 2 online application pathways.
Okay, let's compare the 2 authorized digital pathways that let you skip the line in Topeka. First up, we have VitalCheck. They're a state-contracted web vendor. Now, they do charge a $15 expedited service fee on top of the regular state fee, but they are absolutely your best bet for fast processing and out-of-state shipping, especially if you desperately need overnight courier delivery. On the flip side, we have ICANN. This is the state's official digital service app. It only carries a $5 application fee, so it's perfect if you're budget-conscious or if you live anywhere near Topeka and want to utilize their local will-call in-person pickup option.
So if you choose the ICANN platform, you'll see it builds into an incredibly streamlined mobile flow. You simply download the app from the Apple or Google Play Store and authenticate your profile. From there, you just scroll down and select Vital Records. Next, you enter the metadata, like the birth date, the city in Kansas, and declare your legal relationship to the person on the certificate. Finally, you answer a few automated identity verification questions, pay, and submit. Honestly, it just proves how simple and seamless a secure digital wallet experience can actually be.
All right, Section 4, calculating fees and payments. Let's talk numbers.
So the crucial point here is this number, $20. By state law, this $20 is not technically just paying for a piece of paper. It's actually a mandatory 5-year record search fee. What that means in plain English is, even if the state conducts the search and somehow cannot locate your document, they still retain this $20 fee for the labor of the search itself. It is completely non-refundable.
But if they do find it, you get one certified copy included in that price.
So how does that base fee play into your final digital checkout price? Well, you take that $20 base fee and combine it with the convenience fee of whatever portal you chose. If you use the official Icon app, your total checkout price is going to be $25 for that first copy. If you go with the VitalCheck portal, with its heavier data routing and expedited services, your total checkout price will be $35. Moving right along to Section 5, Delivery and Processing Times. When are you actually getting this thing?
This timeline is really here to help manage your administrative anxiety. You absolutely should choose your portal strictly based on how fast you need the document in your hands. If you need it literally tomorrow and you can drive to the Curtis State Office building in Topeka, use the ICANN app and select Will Call. You'll usually get an email the very next business day saying it's ready for pickup. Now, if you need it fast but you're relying on the mail, VitalCheck processes orders in 3 to 5 business days and offers UPS next-day air options. But if you aren't in a major rush, the ICANN app's standard mail option will process and deliver via the Postal Service in about 7 to 10 days.
And finally, Section 6, Final Tips and Takeaways. Let's troubleshoot some common gotchas.
Now, what's really interesting about this rule is how often it trips people up. Because of the huge rise in identity theft, both of these digital platforms enforce super strict anti-fraud rules. The name on the credit card you type in for payment absolutely must exactly match the applicant's name verifying their identity. You literally cannot use your friend's credit card or a company card to order your personal birth certificate online. There's just no way around it. The system will flag it, and your request is going to be delayed or outright denied.
Also, it's highly important to note this one specific exception. Kansas law provides a really fantastic program where you can get a free birth certificate if you strictly need it to secure a state identification card for voting purposes. However, you cannot order this free copy online because both VitalCheck and Icon are built entirely on electronic credit verification models. Their systems simply cannot process the required state fee waiver forms. So if you need that voter ID freebie, you've got to submit your paperwork directly through the mail or in person.
And of course, as with all government procedures, we've got to include a responsible reminder here. While the information presented in this explainer aims to be totally accurate at the time of production, government processes, portal rules, and fees are always subject to change. You should always verify the latest details directly with the Kansas Department of Health and Environment before you dive in. Which leaves us with this final thought. Are your vital records secure and actually ready for your next major life milestone? You know, we usually don't even think about these documents until we are in a state of absolute panic. But as we've seen today, navigating the digital options in Kansas is actually incredibly structured and accessible. So please, don't wait for an administrative emergency to strike. Take 10 minutes today, download the app or visit the portal, and make sure your legal identity is resting safely in your own hands. Thanks so much for joining me on this explainer, and happy organizing.